Expert care from people who care.
Hi everyone, today we are here at the Outreach Teen and Family Services office with Kate and Grace. We're your new hosts for Teens Tap In, and this episode will be all about getting to know us. Let's start with our fast 5 questions. Okay, Kate, would you rather shop in-store or online?
I would say I'm definitely more of an online shopper. I like to go in store to hang out with my friends or with my mom, but I would say shopping online, I can always make sure that they have my size and that I'm getting the best deal.
That's cool. I'm more of an in-store person. I like getting to see everything, and I'm super tall, so I never know how things are going to fit on me.
That's
so
true.
It can be really hard to try to guess from online.
Yeah, I'm always having to return stuff or exchange stuff when I order online, which does get really annoying. Okay, Grace, would you rather travel with family or with friends?
Definitely travel with family. I think traveling with friends can just get really stressful, and then there's no escape if they're annoying you that day.
That's so true. I agree, because I've always traveled with my family everywhere, and even though I have traveled with my friends a couple times, I would say it's probably also more chill and more relaxing to travel with your parents because they have all the responsibility.
Yeah.
And you just get to be there and have fun.
Kate, would you rather be a teacher or a student?
I would say a student because I'm not the most patient, so I don't know how great of a teacher I would be.
I'm the opposite. I'm a big teacher person. I love teaching people, especially little kids. I just think it's so fun. I could do it forever.
I do like it, but there gets to a point where if I'm in a bad mood, then
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, Grace, would you rather be the oldest or the youngest sibling?
Right now I'm the oldest sibling, and I think I'd rather be the youngest because I think it's a lot easier to already have someone do the exact same thing because I'm the first one to do everything. I'd rather not.
So I'm an only child, so this is I kind of am the oldest and the youngest. I feel like I would want to be the oldest. I feel like I probably see myself most being most parallel to an older sibling, and I kind of having that responsibility. I know that a lot of people don't like it, but I feel like it would be fun, and being able to be the first person to do everything in the house, I think would be fun.
All right, and would you rather be able to fly or read minds?
Definitely fly. I feel like if I was able to read minds, I feel like it's just too much information and some things you probably are better off not knowing. And if I were able to fly, I'd be able to go home and grab stuff I left at home, or just fly to Hawaii or something whenever I want.
I think I'd rather read minds. Maybe I would find out things I don't want to know, but then I'm never I wonder if they're thinking about me. They aren't. I know for sure.
Yeah. Okay, we'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health. They've been our steadfast annual sponsor, supporting our podcast for 4 consecutive years now.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
Okay, so diving right into some of the deeper questions we have, Grace, what are you involved in besides the OCC?
I am the president of Best Buddies at my school. That's one of my proudest achievements. I'm a buddy for Miracle League, and I'm on their junior board. What else do I do? Oh, I'm a proud member of our school's unified bocce team. One of the best bocce players you've ever seen. Division 1, absolutely. And then I'm involved with the musicals at my school. What about you?
So, by the way, just to, on a side note, those are awesome. We also have bocce at our school, and it's definitely getting bigger because last year we had, we normally do a spirit assembly, but instead of that, we did a bocce tournament, and it was really sweet.
So fun.
Yeah, it was super sweet because the whole school got involved, and so, we had sports teams make, their own teams to play bocce, and then we also partnered with, other students at school. Okay, so what I'm involved in besides the OCC, so I've been class president. every year of high school, which is probably the biggest thing that I do at my school.
Wow.
And I would say this year is probably the most significant because, like, as senior class president, you kind of have, like, the most authority in the school, which does make sense, obviously, because you're senior. And so this year we're doing a lot. Like, today we decided on a homecoming theme. We plan, like, senior sunrise. And then I also get to work with the school district administrators, which is really cool. And besides the OCC, I've been involved with outreach this past summer. That was one of the most, like, significant things that I did this past summer. So interning here at Outreach and getting to plan the All Walk and also doing the previous episode with Brian Cuban. So yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, what are your plans for the future, like after high school?
So I definitely want to go to college. I'm not sure exactly what I want to study yet, but I'm thinking something like econ, business, healthcare policy, somewhere in that, like, range, depending on what school I go to. And then I think that I want to go to law school in the future. So that's what I'm set on for
Ooh.
now. What about you?
After I graduate Upper St. Clair, I plan to go to college and probably study psychology, baby education. I don't know.
And also, I forgot to mention that I go to Mount Lebanon High School. So yes. Okay, Grace, what is your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how did you get it?
My favorite nickname is Gracie Boo. So I was a camp counselor over the summer, and one of my kids, I called him Vinny Boo. So he decided to start calling me Gracie Boo, and it really stuck. So I had a
That's
whole
so
horde of
sweet.
6-year-olds calling me Gracie Boo.
That's so sweet, though. I love that. I really don't have, like, a cool nickname. I feel like there's not much you can do with Kate. I'll have some people call me Katie, but I don't really like when people call me Katie because I feel like, in my mind, the whole idea of a nickname is to shorten your name, and, like, Katie is longer than Kate, which just never made any sense to me. But I don't really mind it that much, but I definitely like Kate better.
Cool.
Grace, if you could visit any place in the world, where would it be and why?
It used to be Australia, but I'm really scared of all the spiders there now. So probably Greece, because that's where my family's from, and I would just like to see all of the islands.
That's so
It'd be
cool. I'm scared of Australia too. I'm scared of the spiders, the scorpions, the jellyfish, the sharks. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's maybe not the best place for me to live. But yeah, I've always wanted to visit Greece too. I think it's so beautiful, and there's so many, like, historical and cultural, and also the oceans are beautiful. So many different things to do there. I would say if I had to visit any place in the world, I would really want to visit Singapore. I think that it's such a unique blend of so many different cultures and values, and it's so beautiful and modernized that I really want to take a look and, like, see if I'd want to spend some time there in the future, maybe doing some internship abroad or studying abroad or something like that.
That sounds so cool. I definitely want to study abroad in college. I think
Yeah.
it's just such a fun opportunity.
Me too. Where would you want to study abroad? In Greece?
Greece or England?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any pet peeves?
Okay, I don't like when people chew with their mouth open.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you should definitely try your best to close your mouth when you're chewing food. I really would appreciate that. But I'm just kidding. But I would say when people don't know proper grammar also. Like when people don't know the difference between, like, the 3 2s or, like,
the
effect
there.
and effect. Yeah, or like there, and there. I feel like that kind of makes me
so real.
Yeah.
I'm a big hater of slow walkers, especially in the school hallways where there's a pace, like we are moving.
Yeah.
And you're going like snail speed.
I know, yeah.
Talking to all your friends and you're taking up the whole hallway. I'm like, no, guys.
And especially when you have a test, you're trying to get to a test.
Yeah.
And you're, like, trying to sprint through the hallways, and the whole, like, hallway's blocked by slow walkers. Or, do you guys at your school have, like, one-way stairwells, or is that just, like, a Mount Lebanon?
We have, like, our stairwells are split in half by, like, a banister. So there's, like, an unspoken rule, like you go on the right
nice.
side.
Yeah, that's nice. Because at my school, after COVID, what they did is they designated there's like 3 stairwells in the main building. I would say we have like multiple buildings, but like there's the building with 3 floors, and so there's 3 stairwells, and I think the last one, I forget, maybe it's like down, up, something like that. But I hate when people like go up the down stairwell or down the up stairwell because it just slows down traffic and no one gets anywhere faster.
Yep.
Okay, Grace, what was the last thing that you read?
Unfortunately, it is my poetry textbook for English. Our whole first semester is poetry. No hate to my English teacher, but this is not my favorite unit.
No, I really strongly dislike poetry. What English are you in?
I'm in IB English, so my
Okay.
school is a super cool international baccalaureate program. It's like AP, but internationally recognized, and I'm doing the diploma program, so it's a whole thing, but
Yeah.
no, it's fun.
Yeah, because I'm in AP Lit right now, and so it's kind of the same thing. We're doing a lot of poetry, which I have to go home and write a thesis statement for a poem tonight, which is not exciting because I don't understand poetry. But yeah. And the last thing I read was also, unfortunately, for English. I don't know if you know East of Eden. It's sort of like a religious, well, it's like a retelling of Cain and Abel, essentially, but like in this huge novel, and it's so complex and there are so many things to like analyze. I think it's actually pretty cool because I feel like most books for English I get bored and I don't really understand the relevance, but this I think is actually really interesting.
I love that. Kate, would you say that you're more of an introvert or an extrovert?
I would say I'm more of an extrovert who needs time to recharge. Because at school, I love talking to everyone. I love hanging out with my friends. But I also just love laying in bed and watching some Netflix or just hanging out and talking to my mom at home. So I feel like once I recharge, then I'll become an extrovert again. But there's some times where I become an introvert. What about you?
I'd say I'm more of an introvert, but once I get comfortable with people, then I'm like really loud, really out there.
Yeah. Okay, Grace, what is a comfort movie or TV show for you?
It's a little bit of an odd answer, but Criminal Minds is probably my comfort show, which is like, it's a little bit of a scary one, but it is just, I've watched it like twice, so I know everything that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's
okay,
not,
that makes it less scary.
It doesn't like
then.
scare me anymore because I already know the plot to every episode.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like all the characters. I'm like, oh, I know these people.
Yeah.
I see them show up in other shows, and I'm like, oh, they're from Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
What about you?
I love Gossip Girl. Have you ever seen
I
Gossip
love
Girl?
Gossip
Okay,
Girl.
yes.
So good.
I love Gossip Girl. I want to be Blair Waldorf.
Yep.
But I think I've also seen it multiple times, so all the plot twists and all the betrayals and stuff, I already know it's coming, so it doesn't make me as stressed as the first time watching it did. What is the best concert you have ever been to?
By far, Taylor Swift.
And I was gonna say the same thing.
Like, I'm a decent concert person. Like, I've been to a few. Like, there's nothing better than the Taylor Swift concert. That was unlike anything else. It was its own category.
Did you go on the first night or the second night?
First night.
Okay, I went on the second night. Yeah, it was so awesome. It was like, I remember it was only maybe like a third into the set list and my voice was gone.
Exactly.
I had to take a break, so the songs I didn't know that well, I just wouldn't sing because I had to save my voice for the end. But yeah, that was an awesome concert.
What is your love language?
I would say, honestly, just like letting me vent and letting me complain, because I tell my mom everything, and so especially with like school and like being a senior and like college applications, I'm always super stressed out, and I'll just tell her like everything that's on my mind and everything I'm worried about, and she always manages to make me feel better.
So nice.
What about you?
I've done like the whole love language survey thing, and mine's giving gifts, so that's like such a big thing for me. Like, Christmas is like 3-month ordeal, shopping, wrapping, like it is crazy in my house. It's like I just love giving people presents and like seeing their reactions when they open it. I think it's so fun.
I also love giving people presents. I feel like taking the time to pick out the presents and like analyzing like what this person would want, but like not letting them know what you're gonna get them, like trying to be secretive about it and stuff, and then the anticipation to them opening your gift. I agree with that.
Let's take a moment to acknowledge St. Clair Health. We're deeply grateful for their generous sponsorship of the 4th season of Teens Tap In.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve so we can be stronger together by creating reliable resources that recognize all of our neighbors with access to the highest quality healthcare, advanced care close to home, and a shared humanity that delivers on our joint vision to create a healthier community for all. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
Grace, how did you find out about the OCC?
I found out about the OCC last summer through my yoga studio. So I do yoga and bar at Mind Body. Shout out, it's the best. You should go. And
where is it?
It's in, do you know where Over the Bar is?
No, is that like in Upper St. Clair? Or
It's like
Lebanon?
It's in South Fayette, but it's right next to the Upper St. Clair Rec Center.
Oh,
it's really nice. I love it. But one of the yoga teachers there, Caitlin, is also a psychologist here at Outreach, and I was talking to her about like how I could get involved with volunteering like in the field of mental health, and she introduced me to Maggie, who interviewed me on the spot for the OCC.
Like at yoga?
Like, I showed up here just to talk about opportunities, then just got interviewed.
I thought you meant like in your yoga class, right after yoga. Like,
yeah. I did do an outreach yoga with Maggie. That was fun. What about you?
So I actually reached out to Maggie back in I think January, so almost a year, which is crazy. And so I am super passionate about mental health, similar to you, and I really wanted to find a way to get more involved in mental health directly in the community. And so I reached out to Maggie about potentially doing an internship at Outreach, which I did do my summer internship at Outreach, and that ended, I think, like early to mid-August. I can't really remember exactly. But after that, I've just stepped into the role of the OCC, and I'm super excited for like this upcoming season of Teens Tap In, and just planning events with the OCC as well. Yeah. Grace, why are you passionate about reducing the stigma around mental health?
I personally had a mental health crisis my freshman year of high school, and it was not pretty, and I think it could have been like less intense if I would have known that like it's okay to ask for help, and asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. And it was just something that like not a lot of people talked about, especially in high school. So that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Would you say it was like the transition from middle school to high school for you?
Yeah. If you go back a couple episodes on Teens Tap In, I did an episode with the previous podcast host, Jackie and Gina, about how my transition to high school was rough, especially coming out of the COVID years of middle school.
Yeah. I feel like for me, the mental health didn't hit until probably, I would say, junior year-ish. I think for me, I had a pretty smooth transition from middle school to high school. I think I really had a lot of enthusiasm going into high school, and a lot of I don't know, just a lot of like goals and plans, you know. But I feel like by junior year, just taking like 5 APs and like honors classes all at once, and then trying to balance extracurriculars and a social life and a sleep schedule, which probably was not really
sleep schedule's a big one.
Yeah, that one was probably the one I had to make the most sacrifices out of, but I kind of just like experiencing it myself, and all these feelings of whether it be like small issues caused by anxiety, or like bigger anxiety or test anxiety, or maybe not feeling like comparing yourself to others or being jealous of others' accomplishments, I think that definitely inspired me to do more with mental health and reduce the stigma around mental health, because mental health is a thing that everyone experiences, but everyone is also afraid to talk about. So if we're able to reduce that stigma, then it just helps, honestly just helps everyone, because everyone can share their feelings. And yeah.
So powerful and so like well worded.
Thank you.
So what did you do with Outreach this summer as their intern?
Okay, so it took a lot of months of planning to get the All Walk up and running. We hit many road bumps, from location to date to catering and everything like that. But that ended up happening. It took place on August 31st, I'm pretty sure. And it was super successful. We had, I would say, about 30 people if I had to estimate how many people we had. And everyone just got together and shared a passion for mental health and wellness in the community, and took some time to be mindful at Bird Park in Mount Lebanon. And I also did this previous Teen Step In, this season's previous episode with Brian Cuban, which was super awesome, getting to hear his story, his journey to recovery, and also his experiences growing up in Mount Lebanon, because I know many of our audience members definitely, or probably most likely, go to Mount Lebanon. What about you?
So I was on the OCC last term. It was a very different experience because I was the only high schooler with 3 seniors in college. But together, one of our big things was volunteering at and making a speech at the Outreach Gala, which was so incredible, being surrounded by so many people who are so passionate about mental health. And my parents and my sister got to see all the work that we did. I filmed 2 episodes with Gina and Jackie, who are the last podcast hosts, who are absolutely amazing. And there's so many more things we did that I can't think about. It was such
I know
a busy
it's hard.
year.
It's hard when you're put on the spot
Yeah.
and you have to think of a list of things.
But it was such an incredible experience, and I like, if that sounds like something that you would want to be a part of, I highly, highly recommend applying. Go to Outreach's website, go to their Instagram, and you'll be able to find the link to apply to be part of the Outreach College crew. We're still looking for a couple more people. I promise it's so much fun.
Yes, and even if you're in high school, if you can definitely get involved.
Don't be scared by the name, guys.
Yeah, we're both in high school and we're part of the Outreach College crew.
All of the members are in high school right now.
Just disregard the college aspect.
College, yes. High school, yes.
Grace, what are you most excited about with this term of the OCC?
Ooh, that's difficult. I'm excited to plan some new events. Like, I'm really inspired by the All Walk, and I just really we talked about a lot of things we could do last year, and I really want to put some of those into action, and let's really show the community what Outreach is and what we do.
Yeah.
Especially in Upper St. Clair, where I go to school, because Outreach is based in Mount Lebanon, but their services are available to people all across the South Hills, and people in Upper St. Clair might very much have a need for them but just not know about it. So that's what I'm really excited about, just spreading the word and doing some new things. So what about you?
I agree. I think that the All Walk was a great experience for learning how to plan events. I think both Maggie and I learned a lot about how much work and time and jumping over roadblocks and dodging everything that comes your way that goes into planning events. So I think with that under my belt, I'm definitely excited for planning more events. And like you said, especially events aimed at raising awareness about Outreach as an organization, because I think Outreach does have a lot of prevalence and a lot of respect in Mount Lebanon, but we really do want to spread that influence to surrounding communities such as Upper St. Clair.
Yeah.
So Grace, how do you cope with being overwhelmed or being under pressure?
Took me a while to learn how to do it. I have an amazing counselor who I work with, and she really helps me just being able to talk about it with someone, even if it's not a counselor for you, if it's a parent, if it's your best friend, or if it's your favorite teacher at school, just being able to talk about it is so important. And then having your own way to do self-care, whatever it is. I like making friendship bracelets with string the way you would at summer camp. Um, I'm sometimes it's good to just take a nap, spend some time in your bed. I hang out with my cats, which sounds kind of sad, but they're very nice. They're very comforting.
That does not sound
I
sad.
will pet my cats, and they help. And I found what works for me. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's what's really important. What works for me might not be what works for you, but
Mhm.
there will be something, I promise.
Yes.
So what do you do?
So for me, this kind of also ties into like who inspires me and why. So I think I mentioned this before, but I'm super, super close with my mom. She's like my best friend. So I tell her everything. I tell her all the things I'm stressed about, all the things that are causing me anxiety or making me worried. So she helps a lot. She helps me, like, she always makes me feel better, or she tells me ways to mitigate that stress or that source of the stress that I'm feeling. And so she's always there for me to help me cope under pressure. And I was going to say something and I kind of forget. I'm trying to remember now. But I think also taking the time to for yourself. So taking the time to hang out with your friends, or taking the time to maybe read your favorite book, watch your favorite show, go to a yoga class. Or for me, I
Yeah.
really like going to spin classes. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
Sweat PGH. Yeah.
Yes.
In Upper St. Clair. So I love going to spin classes, like exercising, getting my body moving, or even simple things like you said, just like laying in bed. Sometimes it feels awesome just
It
to
really
lay in bed.
does.
Yes, I plan on laying in bed after I get home tonight. Okay,
Another
great.
thing-
Oh,
Oh, I want
sorry.
to add one more thing. I was
Okay,
thinking
you
of.
go ahead.
So this one's very specific to me, but it's because I love working with kids so much
Yeah.
that like I babysit a lot, and that like takes stress away from me. Like I know
Yeah.
some people like that would add stress because you're like, oh my gosh, I have to be responsible for all these things, but it's like I'm like with like a 6-year-old, and it's like, well, they don't care about my test scores. Like they're just like that
Exactly.
I'm here, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it kind of it's a little bit of peace for me.
And I also think going back to like coping with being under pressure, something that helps me, which I'm not sure if it helps you or maybe it helps others, but I also like looking to the future. So I like looking at something exciting that's coming up. For example, if like today's what?
Wednesday.
Next, in 1 week, I'm going to a Pitbull concert with
Woo!
my friends.
Are you going to the Starlight one?
Yes, are you?
I wish.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to that. So like that's something that I'm looking forward to. And also, even though college applications are super stressful, I know you're probably
don't even talk to me about it.
I know. I also am looking forward to getting those, hopefully at least a couple acceptances in the mail, and like seeing where I end up going to school. I feel like it's a super scary time of year, but also if you flip the script and look at it as a super exciting time of year, I think that also changes sort of your mindset and also how stressed or anxious you feel, which comes along with that.
Yeah, I'm not very excited about the application process, especially the waiting to hear back, but I am so excited for college. Like I cannot wait, counting down the days until
me too.
It's like my fresh start. Because it's
no,
just like,
I totally agree. I think everyone has different kind of perspectives on like how they feel about college. I know a lot of my friends are scared to leave for home, but I agree with you. I'm counting down the days.
Like,
I'm just excited because I feel like you said, it's a new start, and you get to kind of just like be kind of an adult, which is pretty exciting.
Of independence.
Yes.
Well, you touched on this a little bit, but can you tell me more about why your mom inspires you so much?
Yeah, I would say her ability to just honestly, her compassion and her empathy, especially like her active listening. She always just lends me that listening ear so that I can vent and I can tell her anything that I'm worried about. I think is super powerful because it's really easy to talk because everyone wants to share their ideas, but to be able to listen to those you care about, or even maybe those who aren't super close to you, I think is a very is a sign of strength and is a super powerful tool. And yeah, what about you?
My dad really inspires me. He's been going through a lot right now. There's all sorts of things happening there, but he has just been so strong through it, and like really just been such a rock for my family, even though like he was going through his own things. Like he never like made us feel bad for like focusing on ourselves. Like he never complained, was always there for me, especially with all of the college things going on. And it's just I like aspire to be like that selfless and just no matter what's going on with me, like really being attentive to what others need and being there to support them.
Yeah, I feel like our people are super similar in terms of, like you said, like empathy and selflessness, and like both of those traits combining together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to conclude, we want to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health, whose support makes this podcast possible. We invite you to listen to the following message from our sponsor.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
We are so excited for this new season of Teens Tap In. Tune in to listen to our episodes. New episodes will drop the third Thursday of each month. We're on all popular streaming platforms such as Apple Podcast and Spotify. And we are super grateful to each and every one of you for listening to and sharing our podcast with others. Without your support, this podcast would not be possible. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys again next month.
Bye.
Bye!
The views and opinions expressed in the Teens Tap In podcast represent the opinions of the hosts and their guests. The views and opinions expressed by Outreach Teen and Family Services employees, donors, and volunteers are their own and do not necessarily reflect the view of Outreach Teen and Family Services or the show's sponsors. The content here should not be taken as counseling advice. The content here is for informational purposes only, and because each person is unique, please consult your mental health provider or physician for any mental health counseling or other medical questions. The podcast should not be used in any legal capacity whatsoever, including, but not limited to, establishing a standard of care in a legal sense, or as a basis for expert witness testimony. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on the podcast. If you find any error in any of the content of the podcast, please contact us at podcasts@outreachteen.org. Outreach Teen and Family Services, its sponsors, donors, and partners expressly disclaim any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages whatsoever arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast. Please go to www.outreachteen.org to see the complete notice and disclaimer for the podcast episodes.